Live from Lincoln, this is 1011 News at 5.
Shocking child abuse allegations at a Lincoln Elementary School. A teacher accused of forcing kids to eat hand sanitizer. We have the latest on the ongoing investigation. And a couple Husker teams are adjusting their schedules this week due to forecasted weather, including some game cancellations. But first, a powerful storm system is moving through Nebraska, bringing rain, snow, and potentially damaging winds. Good evening, I'm Danielle Shank. Madison is on assignment. We begin 1011 News at 5 on this weather alert day for snow and wind. Our team has been working tirelessly to track this wild weather all day. We have reporters and meteorologists both in studio and out in the field. First up, Bill Rentschler, who's just outside the studio with a first look at your forecast. Bill.
Well, Danielle, I'm only standing about 2 feet outside of our garage. If I was any braver, I would continue to go out. But just in the last 10 or 15 minutes or so, we've really seen the changeover here in Lincoln from rain to a wintry mix to now seeing some pretty decent snow falling right now. And just here at the top of the hour as well, Lincoln and Lancaster County now under a blizzard warning. So if you look at the weather alerts across the state, we have blizzard warnings and winter weather advisories that cover a decent amount of the state. It doesn't matter if you're in a winter weather advisory or a blizzard warning. We're just going to see some pretty nasty conditions as we head through this evening with snow, blowing snow. Could even see maybe some thunder snow at times with a little elevated instability across the area. We also have high wind alerts that are in effect across the state as well. Those high wind warnings are in place through the day tomorrow, as we could see winds gusting as high as 60 to even 70 miles an hour at times. Right now in the capital city, you can see from sky view, again, pretty really just gross conditions as we're seeing, again, areas of snow, reduced visibility, temperatures down into the 30s behind that powerful cold front that's moved through. We've seen winds gusting as high as 50 to 60, even close to 70 miles an hour at times across the state. And this activity is going to continue as we head through the remainder of this evening. Ken is going to have full forecast details, including a look at the snowfall forecast and how long these strong winds will stick around. I am going to go back inside now. Danielle, back to you.
All right, thank you, Bill, for that quick forecast and a quick look at the conditions just outside our studios. But with the 5 o'clock hour upon us and the commute almost underway, let's check in on the road conditions. 1011's Anthony D'Agostino is out in the Weather Shield and joins us live. Anthony, how are things looking out there?
Yeah, Danielle, I'm driving on East O Street right now, just passing 26th Street, heading towards downtown. And we have transitioned from about an hour ago to all rain to all snow. But in between, there was some sleet, which kind of hurt your face. So I'm kind of thankful now that it's just some snow. That's not going to hurt if you're walking out. But of course, it's very windy out. The snow is blowing around pretty good. So be mindful when you're driving. Right now, visibility is okay, at least where I'm driving right now. But you know, with being under a blizzard warning, that could change at any point as the snow and the wind kind of ramp up tonight. So if you have to go out, be very careful. Right now, roads are just wet, but you know, of course, we'll keep you updated on anything weather-wise as it progresses through the night. For now, in the Weather Shield, Anthony D'Agostino, back to you, Danielle.
Thank you for the insight on the roads, Anthony. Now, this winter storm brings unique challenges for city crews due to the rain falling before the snow. Add in high winds and the dangers increase even more. 1011 Samantha Burnt is live with how city officials plan to tackle the storm.
Danielle, city crews usually spend the day of a winter storm pre-treating the roads, but this time around they're having to take a different approach as the high winds could blow some of that salt and brine away. Lincoln Electric Systems is also having to adapt. They are on standby throughout the night to help people who lose their power, but they say getting those lights back on could be challenging.
If the winds are above 40 miles an hour, we can't get our buckets up in the air, or you don't want people up in there, and trees could still be falling. So I think that's the biggest challenge that we're looking at, and that's going to be the challenge we're facing, especially if the gusts continue throughout the night.
LES advises that if you rely on medical equipment requiring power, be sure to have a backup source in case of an outage. Lincoln Parks and Rec urges residents to report any downed trees in the roads via their website. They add that StarTran operations will be ending at 7 o'clock tonight, 3 hours ahead of schedule. You can also keep a tab on city roads by using the Ride LNK app. Reporting live in Lincoln, Samantha Burnt, 1011 News.
Thank you, Samantha. Stay safe out there. Due to forecasted inclement weather, Nebraska baseball and softball are adjusting their schedules. Baseball's home opener against South Dakota State, originally set for tomorrow afternoon, has been canceled. Softball will now only play one game against Northern Colorado on Tuesday instead of the planned doubleheader for the Big Red Spring Fling. The game will start at 2:30 p.m. Additionally, all Friday games have been canceled due to the threat of snow. Making headlines today, Lincoln police are investigating shocking allegations of child abuse at Beatty Elementary School, where a teacher is accused of forcing young children to eat hand sanitizer and apply bleach to their hands. The incident, involving 3 boys aged 5 and 6, was reported Friday and is said to have occurred between August 2024 and February 2025. A woman claiming to be the mother of one child who is nonverbal and autistic shared the accusations on Facebook. Lincoln Public Schools confirmed the teacher was removed and is no longer employed, but no arrests have been made.
This is 1011 News at 5.
Good evening and thanks for joining us here at 5. We are going to get right into our top story. I'm Madison Pitch.
And I'm Cole Miller. In less than 24 hours, Nebraska lawmakers will be back in action as Governor Jim Pillen has officially called for the start of that special session to deal with property taxes.
This announcement comes on the heels of growing pushback and criticism to the plan he's laid out. 1011's John Grinvalds just met with Governor Pillen, and he joins us live from the state capitol with the very latest.
Madison, Cole, I just wrapped up my conversation with Governor Jim Pillen 10 minutes ago, and he says he's feeling confident and excited on this eve of the special session, but it could be a long fight ahead. Earlier this afternoon, the governor made it official by proclaiming the special session. That's set to start tomorrow morning at 10. He says property tax reform just can't wait, that the high rates property owners are paying are pushing them out of the state. Pillen told me today that he'll have bipartisan support, but with some notable Republicans coming out against it, the path to a 33-vote filibuster-proof majority isn't certain. And we'll hear directly from the governor coming up at 6. Reporting live in the Capitol, John Grinvalds, 1011 News.
All right, John, thank you.
And as we mentioned, reaction is pouring in when it comes to this special session. We've reported over the course of the last few weeks that state senators on both sides of the aisle have been raising serious concerns over what the governor wants and whether or not he has the votes, like John mentioned. And then there's the timing, less than a full day's notice. According to the Nebraska Examiner, Omaha's Justin Wayne wrote in an email to his fellow senators, quote, "We are not his slaves to be summoned at his whim." He's also floated the idea of having lawmakers vote to recess until at least August 1st. That would take a simple majority to do so. Others have echoed that sentiment, like Michaela Cavanaugh and Julie Slama. So far, roughly 80 bills are being prepped for this session. You can read much more on this on the Examiner's website.
And ahead of the governor's proclamation this afternoon, 9 mayors from across the state are sharing their thoughts, all of them opposed to what's on the table as of right now. Mayors from Hastings, Holdridge, Kearney, Minden, Bellevue, Gretna, La Vista, and Papillion highlighted 6 points, including how the governor's plan to reduce property taxes allegedly doesn't address how the proposed reform would affect next year's budget, how the budget affects emergency personnel and their ability to meet essential budgeting needs. They also claim the plan doesn't include ways to replace that lost money. Along with that, they say it favors out-of-state landowners and shifts the burden of local revenue to what the group calls difficult to audit sales tax. And their last point, the plan could destroy urban growth that could affect future city planning budgets.
In other news this evening, in downtown Lincoln, the evening commute for some drivers may have had a few snags after this crash between a pickup and that shuttle bus. You see it there, it ended up on its side. This happened at 10th and P a little after 3:30. We've learned the driver of that bus was taken to the hospital to get checked out. He was the only one inside at the time. The driver of the truck, police say, was not hurt. There were some major backups along 10th as all of this was being cleaned up. Well, the Husker football team kicks off the season in just over a month, and today members of the team spoke with the media in Indianapolis as the Matt Rule era prepares for year 2.
And the landscape of the conference is much different now, and many are wondering how the Big Red plans to adapt to that change. 1011's Chase Madison joins us live from Indy with the latest from Media Days.
Well, guys, the day of talking heads is in the books. Nebraska, along with 5 other teams from the conference, took to the podium today. And while the Huskers garnered a lot of attention, So did the conference as a whole as the Big Ten moves to 18 teams for this upcoming season. This was one of the focal points of Matt Rhule's time at the podium, from everything to how the weather will impact the games this fall to even discussing his relationship with Oregon's Dan Lanning and USC's Lincoln Riley. In terms of Rhule's team, he emphasized how the Huskers must improve the turnover margin, how they have depth at nearly every position, and finally how the competition level of the Big Ten gives him the confidence that the college football playoff could be in the cards for multiple Big Ten teams, including Nebraska.
I think we'll have a lot of access to the college football playoff, and I think 4 teams from this league should get in every year because this is the best league. This is the NFL of college football on my mind. It stretches from coast to coast, different time zones, different weather. That's not to diminish any other league. The SEC is amazing. These other leagues are great, but the challenge in the Big Ten is going to be really difficult. Travel, weather, and great teams.
Rhule added that he doesn't want to put a number on this season, as he doesn't want to assume that the Huskers are going to lose games. We'll have plenty more at 6 and 10. For now, covering the Huskers live from Lucas Oil Stadium, Chase Madison, 11 Sports.
Rhule knows how to get us excited. All right, Chase, thanks so much for that report.